Hello, friends. Welcome back to the ComfyUI Town Hall Friday night hangout session. I'm here with Midjourney Man. He's having internet troubles, but he'll be back soon. We are going to talk about some of the cool stuff that happened this week. We got some new updates from WAN. They dropped 14B and 1.3B versions of the VACE model augment tool. I don't really know what to call it. It's basically like an extra model you use with WAN, or there's also just like a trained in version of it, I believe. But it takes input images and reference images to various very useful ends. Like you can basically give it some input footage, pre-process that with open pose and or depth, mix those two together, and then feed that into WAN like we used to do with animate diff with control net, IP adapter, and all the other stuff that goes into like pre-processing different control nets and mixing it all together. So yeah, with animate diff we had, and all those things sort of modular, we had control of all these things in very specific ways. But with WAN, you kind of mix everything together and feed it into the one input, and it just sort of figures it out. I've thrown depth maps, open pose, just straight footage. Normal maps don't work as well. Line art, I've thrown all, and then combinations of these things at it. It just kind of sort of understands and does the thing. So I'll show what I'm talking about in a little bit, and then we'll sort of dive into how to do that on your Comfy. So this works locally. I was doing it locally on a 3090. Tonight I rented a 4090 on RunPod just for speed and just to kind of set it up on RunPod and see if it's possible. It turns out it's quite easy to do. So I can walk you guys through like the beginning of that, on like how to get it set up and stuff in RunPod. But for now, I'll just I think MJ just joined. Here he is. What's up,
Hey,
buddy? I'm just giving everybody a rundown on the vase stuff that dropped this week.
awesome. I should be good.
Yeah, welcome. Get that weird internet today.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. I don't know when the official ComfyUI implementation will be ready, but we'll be talking about it as soon as it is. Today, we will be using Kajai's wrapper nodes. That's how you kind of play with all the bleeding edge stuff that comes out for WAN. And then once everything's settled and there's accepted ways to do things, gets merged into Comfy Core, and we'll have access to those nodes as soon as they're done. I don't have any dates for anybody right now, but yeah, I'm sure it's being worked on. There's just been a flurry of activity with WAN. I'm going to end up talking about a lot of it, but there's a lot of flavors and a lot of different like modifiers for WAN. So try not to get overwhelmed while we're talking about it, because there's a lot of terms, a lot of things we'll be throwing around because we've encountered them over and over again. If something we're talking about does not make sense, please ask in the comments so that we can sit and break it down to the best of our ability to help you understand what all these parts are doing. I might breeze past something that doesn't make sense to you, so please shout it out and we'll try and come back to it and make it make sense. For now, I'm just going to jump right over to the workflow, and we'll just kind of go through the workflow, and then we'll talk about installing it on RunPod and stuff. So, boop, 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 doop, doop, doo. That should do it. Hey, here we are over in Comfy. So, this is an instance of Comfy that is running on RunPod right now. You can do this locally with any GPU or whatever. I'm just using RunPod again for those reasons I said before. 4090 is twice as fast as my local machine, and if it crashes, we just spin up a new RunPod and we vamp. If it crashes on my local machine while I'm streaming, I disappear. So we'll try to keep it from crashing. I think I know what to do to make it not crash, but sometimes I get stupid and adventurous on stream. So YOLO. All right. I will say right off the bat, the nodes are by Kijai, Kijai. The WAN video wrapper, and this workflow is by AI Warper, who you should absolutely follow on all the socials and on YouTube and all the places. Fantastic human. They dropped this workflow in Banadoko a few days ago, or maybe yesterday. I'm not sure. Whenever this stuff came out. And I've been just slowly tweaking it a little bit, but really this is almost all AI Warper's workflow using Kijai's nodes. So I just want everyone to be aware of like who's driving the innovation on this stuff. The models come out, Kijai figures out how to wire them up, and then the rest of the community figures out what we can do with them. But Kijai figures that out too. Madman. Peter. I hope it'll run on Mac OS eventually. I have no luck with all the previous WAN workflows. All this GPU heavy video stuff is just going to be rough on the Mac for the foreseeable future, until there's some breakthrough in metal or whatever it is to replicate the CUDA stuff. The Macs are just always going to be a little slower. But that's why we have the API nodes now. That's why we have RunPod. That's why we have all this stuff. Like this thing I'm doing now on RunPod, you could do this on an iPad if you were feeling crazy. This is just a dumb terminal to GPU in the cloud. So, yeah. So yeah, this workflow is by AI Warper. Drop the link in the thing, and follow AI Warper. Fantastic. Just want to make sure we covered that. Okay, so this is the workflow. It looks kind of crazy, but the meat is just the WAN video sampler in the middle. Everything else just kind of branches out from here. And we're kind of doing all the tricks in this workflow to make WAN play ball. So let's kind of run through it here. We're just defining a width and height over here. This is a constant. This is an integer node. This is built into Comfy Core now. If you just type int, you'll see Comfy Core utils primitive. And just remember, when you use the primitive nodes that come with Comfy, they work like seed nodes. If you want it to be this number every time you hit enter, it has to be fixed. It can't be randomized. If it's randomized, it's going to be a completely different number. If you do that with a resolution, the number is in like the billions or the trillions or something. So you can imagine how your GPU is going to feel about that. So yeah, the integer nodes that are built into Comfy are awesome. Anytime we get these like utility nodes that we've been installing packs for in Comfy, I get super excited because it's like,
it's cleaner,
just more and more internal functionality. Forgive me, I got to drink my juice. Okay. Pixel Pusher, Juan, am I going to see you in about 2 days, buddy?
I was going to reply to that one saying this, what you just said. Yeah, 2 days. Pers and I are going to San Francisco to the Upscaling conference, and we're going to meet up with some of the people.
If you're around in SF, reach out to us. We'll let you know about any fun events or anything we get going, and we'll be at Upscale Conf. So if you're there, come say hi. I'll be the guy with my face on my shirt or whatever. Okay, what else? That's it. So you just these integer nodes, and that's all you need, and you just makes videos. Isn't that amazing? No, there's a little bit more to it. Okay, so we need to load a video. This is pretty straightforward. We're just going to load. I had some videos from Pexels, which is always a good place to download videos from. See if I have one here. I don't, so let's do that real quick. Pexels.com. So if you go to videos, just type in dance. You'll just get a bunch of videos of people dancing. We just want to find one. This one, I've used this one before. It's kind of great. I Ideally, you want to find something where the person's in the middle. That's a great one. We'll use that.
Classic.
So you don't need a massively high resolution for this. In fact, the higher the res you go here, the more overhead you just add into your project. So just grab whatever's necessary in here. We're just making a skeleton and a depth map. So the resolution that we're going to be rendering at or below is fine. This is actually slightly higher than the resolution we're going to be landing at. So YOLO. 720 by 1280. Download selected size. It'll put it in your wherever you download stuff. So let's load that in here. Choose video to upload. There he is. And then we just set skip first frames to 0. There we go. I was working with a video that was very long, so my skip frames was at like 4,400 or something. Okay. As you can see here, we're using the video helper suite load video upload node to trim the video on the way in. This workflow is on Banadoko. Workflow is available on Banadoko by AI Warper in the WAN chatter page. Just adding that to the chat there. If you want to grab this workflow, go get it and give it a like because he deserves it. And yeah, and then you can follow along. All right. What else? We load our video. We're trimming as many frames as we want. Then we're using our frame count as our sort of batch size. So this is like a really easy way to always control how many frames you make with the video that you input. So you put your input video in, you trim it to the exact sequence you want. Then that frame count out from that video loader will become the frame count for the project. So anytime you can generate a constant like this, keep it in mind, because that constant, instead of typing it in 50 times every time you want to change something, try to always use constants. I know I hammer that a lot, but it's super duper.
And unify the constant, just one constant to set everything, in one place. It makes things cleaner and easier.
Yeah. Then if you want to like do iterations of the workflow, it's way easier to break it out. All right. And then so we got all the tricks here. We got WAN video torch compile. If you don't want to install Triton on Windows, don't worry about this. This is nice. You don't need it. You do not need Triton. You can install Triton. Have fun. I'm not going to help you install Triton. The process is not lovely, but it's possible. It's doable. I have it set up on my machine. You can set it up in your machine. It's just like a toughie. It's actually really easy to set up on RunPod though. So, 6 of one, half dozen the other. Like some of the stuff that's hard to do on Windows is actually just like dead simple on Linux. So
yeah, I was going to say,
all the RunPod stuff is like Linux. Like they're like little Ubuntu machines. So, it just depends on what we're using. But yeah, MJ had a blast with Triton, and it is what it is.
Well, I got it to work eventually after 3 days of hell.
Anyway, Triton is like just a dependency for torch compile, which is a method of taking the model and like squishing it into something like that's faster to read. I don't really understand it. I think it's kind of like when you compile shaders at the beginning of a video game, you're sort of making like this like more truncated library to pull from that just you can pull from faster. Someone who understands this stuff better, please butt in the conversation and let us know if we're being idiots. But to my understanding, that's what it does. So as a result, it makes the inference, it can be up to like 20, 30, 40% faster, sometimes 50% faster when you're using torch compile, but you have to set up Triton. Again, hard on Windows, easy on Linux. Not impossible though. Just go Google the latest thing about it, I will say. Don't look up old information on how to install Windows Triton. They've changed the process recently. Yeah. So, all right, that's enough about torch compile. So I don't even have it plugged in because like I don't even know if it works on this. I don't know if it even works in this workflow, and I don't really want to break it.
I'm going to try on my end. How about that?
You can try it, yeah. So then block swap, we can use this block swap here to reduces VRAM use by swapping blocks to CPU memory. You can trade off your GPU memory with your like CPU. So like if you have like a 12 gig GPU, you can swap some of the blocks of the model onto your CPU and like make it fit on your GPU. So you can sacrifice time for memory if you don't have 24 gigs. But I think with the heavily quantized models, like they should be coming in the next few days, probably like GGUFs and all that stuff. I'm sure we'll have this down to like 8 gigs and stuff like that. Right now, this is like 11, I think 11 gigs of VRAM to run when it's running, but it takes more VRAM to load the models. That's like a whole thing about offloading and but yeah, anyway, once it's actually loaded, it really only takes about 11 to 13 gigs of VRAM to infer this beast, but it takes a lot more VRAM to load the models into memory. Otherwise you got to swap to your CPU, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then we have this really cool thing called the CosVid LoRa, which if anyone else is familiar with Animate Diff or like LCM models, or like Flux Schnell versus Flux Dev, it's that kind of thing where it's a distilled version of the model. So instead of 20 to 50 steps, it's 4 to 8 steps. So it's like this is just a massive reduction in the amount of time that these take. So that's the CosVid. Actually, I have links to all of these models. So I'm just going to drop those real quick in the old chat. And that way you guys don't have to guess. So these are all versions that Kajai has quantized and stuff for his wrapper. So if you're trying to use the official implementation of this stuff, please go get the official models from the Comfy folder. This is all for the sort of bleeding edge WAN wrapper stuff that we're doing with Kajai right now. I don't know if I can just drop 6 links in the chat, but we're going to try it. 1, 2, 3. Bear with me, everybody. 4, 5. So this just so you know exactly what models we're talking about here, because I know how confusing that can be. And also, I will say I should have typed in where they go, but yeah, they go into these VAE approx, VAE clip, LoRa's unit folders. But I guess I'll talk about that.
I can put it in the chat for
yeah, right on.
Also, I was going to say, Torch Compile made 0 difference in speed.
Oh, really?
None.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Maybe you have to change something in the settings too. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, get link flood banned. All right. So yeah, all this goes into the WAN video model loader. This is the main model loader. You can see everything's plugged in here: the Vase model, the LoRa, the block swap stuff. Compile args. This is where you plug in the Torch compile stuff if you want to use it. Torch compile args plugs into compile args, and then you just leave that plugged in there, and it'll do its business. If it's not plugged in, it won't do anything. So just leave it unplugged if you don't know what it does, or you don't have Triton. These LoRa loaders up here are bypassed, but you can use these to use WAN LoRa's to drive your generation into any specific.
Maxime, donne-moi le chat, s'il te plaît. Maintenant. Maintenant.
MJ's yelling in French. What was I saying? Yeah. Model loader, compile, encoder. We use our VAE loader that loads the WAN 2.1 VAE. Upscale image. I'll talk about all this stuff in a minute. Just kind of go through the WAN stuff here. Tcache. Tcache is a method of skipping steps that it doesn't think that it needs. It's not really necessary with these distilled models. 8 steps is not a lot of steps. But if you want to use it with the other method, you can reduce the amount of steps that your generation takes because it just tries to skip the unnecessary ones. Anything where the sort of the deviation of change it feels is not going to be like above this threshold, 0.2, it'll just skip that step. So the higher this threshold, the more likely it will be to skip a step that it doesn't think is needed. But when you increase this number, you increase the likelihood that your generation will have little artifacts in it. So 0.08 to 0.2 seems to be the kind of range you want to stay within. And with these like 8-step ones, I mean, you can even bypass Tcache because like 8 steps compared, it's going to be 7 or 6. It's fine. And this one video SLG is skips unconditioning on the selected blocks. Don't know what this does. These are the default settings. I'm just going to leave it alone. You know, a lot of this stuff, you don't have to know what it does. You just have to know what you can play with and what you can't play with. And at some point, somebody will explain to me what this is, and then I'll know. But for now, I'm just going to leave it the hell alone. So yeah, all that plugs into the WAN video sampler, into all the specific places. There's even more stuff you can play with that I don't understand. Good luck. Have fun.
Option.
Fantasy talking embeds, uni animate poses, experimental arguments, loop flow edit, you know, like who knows? It's like have fun. 8 steps, CFG of 1, and then it's a fixed seed. If you want to change the seed to random, you'll get a different one every time. If you leave the seed fixed, like anything else, same seed, same input video, same all the things will make the same video. So if you're getting the same video, it's probably because your seed is fixed. Like if you want to make multiple versions of the same video, don't fix your seed, randomize it or increment it or whatever. WAN video decode. This is a tiled video decoder for WAN. This lets us decode these videos with our tiny little GPUs because it splits up the video into little tiles and then it turns them into images that humans can see, and then kind of smashes them all back together. So then when it's done that, we just make a grid of the images and we save the original output here. So as I plug all the things in, I'll talk about what everything else does. Down here, we have all of our processing nodes. This is what we use to make the input footage we're going to use. So yes, this is the input footage here, but we're actually going to make a depth map / skeleton from this input footage to drive VACE. That's what VACE does. So VACE is like the thing that can take the weird input footage and reference footage and then mix that together into a video. So let's walk through the setup down here. We're using depth anything and DW pose here. Then we're blending those two images together, and we're going to make a mask out of them. So, the workflow link, it's the Taiwan. Scrolling through WAN chatter on Banadoko, but can't seem to find the workflow link. It's like a PNG of a workflow. Like it looks like a screenshot of the workflow, and it's one of the last things AI Warper said. Yeah, sorry, I do want to give the credit to AI Warper, so I want you guys to go like the post, you know, give him some love. So I don't want to just repost it on his behalf, but yeah, it is there, and it's like a PNG, like it looks like just a workflow. All right,
I'm going to try to see if I can find when it was posted and whatnot. Like
yeah, that'd be great if you could drop the message link in.
I found it right there. It's here. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it looks like a workflow.
Is that okay if I paste the message link here?
Yeah, that'd be great because people can join Banadoko as well. And if you're not on there, you can go get the Discord link from banodoco.ai.
I assume this is the one that I just sent.
But if you're already on there, that'll be the link. Yeah, sick. All right. Yeah, I know recreating these is tedious from stream. I fully understand. I used to do it too with Blender nodes and things like that. So I feel your pain. Anytime we can provide the workflow, that's great. If I made the workflow, I would just link it to you. But again, you know, when somebody else makes it, it's kind of nice to give them some credit and shine and all that business. Okay, that's the whole workflow. We're taking our input footage, we're mashing it into a mask, a depth map, and a skeleton. We're taking that, and then we're taking a reference image, which I have not placed in here yet. I guess we'll just use me because it's kind of silly. Face. Let's try this guy. So up here's your reference image. We're upscaling that image, which means we're just cropping and resizing that image. So the reason I use this node is because like whatever you put in here, whether it's smaller than or larger than this, it's just going to resize it to this and crop it in the center. That's all I ever want with these nodes. So this is kind of like the perfect node for this. If you want to crop that's in a different place, or you want to crop at the face, there's other nodes for that. Nodes with padding, nodes that can add like padding on the sides and stuff. Totally useful. You know, all them things. That's me back before my hair went gray. Yeah. Or well, before most of it went gray. All right. I was younger. Let's try a dancing man with a beard and glasses. Not nearest exact. What do you like? By cubic? Landscos? Let's have it out. What's the best? What's your favorite upscale method? Let's really have a like a hot dog is a sandwich or is a hot dog a sandwich or not fight. That's 2 votes for Landscos. I also vote for Landscos. I've heard great things about Bicubic. This is exactly the kind of nerd fight I love to have on the internet. This is giving me fuel. Upscale image by also a great node. Yeah, there's some really, really good ones out there. All right, let's go with Landscos. There you go. There you go. The best upscaled method, tiling, tagging each tile, K-sampler, then gluing. This guy upscale.
That's the real deal.
The real deal. Also love the name. All right. We are all set here. I'm just going to try this simple phrase of a dancing man with a beard and glasses, and we're just going to YOLO this into existence.
How much of the text prompt
is... Oh, yeah. Sorry, I should tell you guys, before we go any deeper, I should tell you where all those models go. So the model for the vase model, it goes into...
I put it in the chat first.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, in the UNet folder. Yeah, but you can show it if you want.
Yeah, so those two go in the UNet folder, this one and the model loader. The LoRa goes into your LoRa's folder, and you can make it... Joe says it's pronounced Landcos. He says I butchered it.
I thought it was cute. Don't change it.
It's not Landcos. That's fair. I mean, that's fair. Landcos. Landcos. I will try to remember that, but also I will totally forget it. Landcos.
That's a good one.
Oh, I love it. This is my favorite. Not Coos. It's not Lands Coos. All right, this is very stupid. So right now we are doing the DW pose estimation. It is figuring out the skeleton, and now it's adding the skeleton to the mix. I think it already did the depth, so it should be showing us this in the video combine like any minute now when it downloads it. It's this stuff's a little slower on RunPod. Like the video outputs and stuff from the nodes, because you got to wait to download it from the server before it can show it to you. When you're using Comfy locally, this stuff just flips into existence as soon as it's done. Yeah, like right here, we should be seeing what these look like together. Oh, can't import Sage Attention, no module name Sage Attention. We found the fun error. This one's actually super easy to fix. When you're on RunPod, you always have a method of getting to your terminal. So each Docker image on RunPod has a slightly different way of installing and maintaining Comfy while you're using it. I'm using Better Comfy Slim. I find it's very fast. It puts everything in the workspace folder, which I like because it the workspace folder, if you use network volumes, will persist until you kill it. So it like costs like a 1 cent an hour, I think, to keep it alive. So for days like this, when I've been working on this workflow and I want to come back to it, it's great because I just leave the network volume up until I'm done. Then you just murder it when you're done, and you know all your stuff's saved. So, but other ones install onto the local drive. You know, there's different ways of doing that sort of stuff. Coilan says can't get the workflow from the Discord image. So one funny thing about that, if you drag the image out of the Discord window, it will not work because it sends you a WebP preview of the image that it's showing you in the screen. But if you go and click the download button in Discord, it will download the original PNG where the metadata has not been stripped out and the workflow is still contained in it. I've run into this before and couldn't figure out what the problem was. It's because when you just grab the file and drag it somewhere, you're actually grabbing the preview that the metadata has been stripped out of. So yeah, I've had this problem before. Anyway, yeah. So where were we with the RunPod stuff? Why was I going back to RunPod? Something broke. Sage Attention. So I need to get to my terminal, and in this case, it's using Zasper, which is just like a different version of like what's that? Jupyter, Jupyter, kind of Jupyter wrapper thing. This is the type of interface you'll usually get where you got a terminal and then like thing that'll just like run Python notebooks on your machine, and then you know you get some stuff over here you shouldn't touch. Then this is your workspace with all your folders and whatnot, and your whole setup. But right now I just need to jump into a terminal window and get access to my stuff, and then go into and hit LS. LS is going to show me all the files in my folder. I need to go into my ComfyUI folder, CD. Maybe I can make this bigger.
No, nice. Easier to see.
CD space ComfyUI. LS. This is going to be my whole ComfyUI folder on RunPod. So in here, actually, I'm going to see if I killed it. Oh, will this go away? No, whatever. All right. What I need to do is, so who can tell me what a virtual environment is? So Comfy is installed one of many ways: desktop version, portable version, virtual environment version, and Conda version. So this one is a virtual environment. My Comfy at home is a virtual environment. Some people like Conda because you can specify the torch version for your Conda environment, which is super handy if you want to keep things in a very specific place. Blah, blah, blah. This is all slightly intermediate DevOps nonsense, but this is a virtual environment. All this is to say I need to mount that virtual environment, activate it before I can make any changes to the environment, because I need to install Sage Attention right now. But if I just do what it said and pip install Sage Attention, it's going to install Sage Attention to the Python environment, like the global Python environment on this machine. But Comfy is not in a global Python environment. It's in a virtual environment. If you look in here, there's a .venv folder. So this is something you need to remember on Linux, or write it down, put it in a file, whatever. Source is how you activate it. So the command is source /bin/activate. So like, just sear that into your memory. On Windows, it's slightly different. It's a different command. It's venv scripts activate, no source. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you need to do this to activate the Python environment. So now I can go pip install Sage Attention.
Zoom out a little bit first so we can see, because actually we can see what you're typing with.
Yeah.
Or hold on, let me do this here for the time being. Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, good point. So yeah, now that our source venv bin activate. Now that I've activated the virtual environment, I can pip install Sage Attention. So I did that. Now Sage Attention is installed. So if I run this again, we shouldn't get that error because Sage Attention is installed.
And this is where Triton is needed on the PC and not on Linux, by the way.
Yeah, on Sage Attention. And if that's a problem, if you can't get it to work, you can always switch this back to SDPA, the first one here. That works with no extra nodes, and it's slower, but it works. So if it's broken, you can fix it with that. But it is now doing the thing. So let's pull this up. Have a look at the old.
Oh, by the way, here
we're swapping blocks.
Pixel Fisher, that's a good.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah, because I think that's my fault. What I sent was the picture of the workflow, but it didn't have anything. So here, go there, 12:29 p.m. PST. Keep doing your thing. I'm going to leave this one on for a bit.
Yeah, that's great. There's also Sage Attention 2 now that I think you have to build from source. Oh, fun. Oh, CUDA error, invalid argument. CUDA kernels might be asynchronously a port. Wow, I've never seen this one. We got a new error. I'm just going to try and update all just in case. Let's give it a little restart. Often updating Comfy is the answer to these problems that you've never seen before. It's because, we're trying to load a workflow. It's probably using stuff that's in a newer version of Comfy. And it just errors out, and there's no soft error handling for that. There's no way to say, oh, this is because you're using the old version of Comfy. It doesn't know about it, so it can't possibly, react to it. So now we can go back to our thing here. And actually, one way you can see what Comfy's up to is if you go into your ComfyUI folder, there's a folder called user. And if you cd space user, go jeez, man. If you go into that user folder, you'll see a ComfyUI 8188 log. So tail -f, tail space -f, ComfyUI 8188.log. Tail means show me the tail of this file. -f means forever. So when you tail forever a log file, it's just going to spit out what the log's doing into your terminal window forever until you cancel it. And to cancel it, it's just Control-C. So you can always say tail -f, any log file, and then just watch the log file in a terminal window. This is super handy anytime you need to watch a log. And you can also grep logs. If you grep that log for a phrase, you can search a log file for a phrase and stuff like that. I know this stuff's all Linux 101 stuff. So if you're already a Linux nerd, I did the thing again, didn't I? There we go. If you're already a Linux nerd, just ignore this. But this is handy stuff when you're trying to maintain your environment on RunPod. So yeah, boop, boop, boop. Yep. It'll ask you to apply the changes and restart the browser. That's fine. We want to do that because we want to reload all the nodes that are in the memory of the browser because they have some of them might have new functions, right? Okay, everything's set. Let's run it again. Watch for errors. Oh yeah, so that's tail-f log file.log or whatever it is. And then to kill it, it's always Control-C in Linux is cancel. Those of us who grew up with old Windows machines in the 90s are very comfortable in DOS, and Linux is basically DOS, it's 601F does the other with some of the tools. I'm also noticing if this happens on your machine, I can explain why. You see how these B-box poses are taking absolutely forever? Look how long this DW pose estimator is taking. That's going bunk, 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 bunk. It should be go like it should be like just done immediately. The reason for that is ONNX is running on CPU. This happens all the time because of dependencies. There's actually a really easy workaround. If you change YOLO XL here to YOLO X torch script, the first option, and then you run it again, on the very first run, it's going to torch compile or whatever it does to the little script. And then when it runs that, when it runs it again, it just goes brrr. So like, yeah, if this is taking you forever and your input footage is longer than 65 frames, and it's going to be like a month to do it, just switch this out to torch script or fix your ONNX. But yeah, fixing ONNX is not fun. So whatever. It's whatever. Taz says, I had an old Windows machine in the 90s, but I'm still too stupid for DOS. Me too, buddy. Don't sweat it. Spoken like a true Linux nerd. Can always virtualize Windows if I need it. Yeah, who needs to run it for real, man?
Scorpion.
Okay, I think it's actually maybe possible. Why would I say that? I don't think it's going to rain today.
And did you jinx yourself?
Yeah, I might have. Let's see.
Well, it's okay. Worst case scenario, I'm running on my end. So.
Here we go again. CUDA error. CUDA kernel errors may be asynchronous. I've never seen this error.
Find issues. Let's see what happens.
Let's paste it into Google.
Control A, Control D, lit, save.
Yeah, none of that makes sense to me. So I'm starting to think maybe it's one of my settings, possibly. Upload Sage, FP16, APM52. This was working just before the stream, which is why this is exceptionally frustrating. Let's see. No, all that's fine. Did I fat finger a setting somewhere maybe? That does happen. No, it looks like we're all good here. Is yours working, MJ?
It is, yeah. So I'm just running.
Let's switch over to yours for now, and then I'll keep working.
Yeah,
on
we
this.
can just.
But essentially, this setup was working perfectly today, and it will probably work on yours. I have a feeling I fat fingered something. We're going to switch over to MJ's screen. He's going to show you guys how it works, and I'm going to try and fix it while he does that.
Right on. So what did I do? Set my resolution. Picked an input video. Again, I got this one from Pixel. I think a lot of people have used this one before.
Mm-hmm.
And here, let me just make this out of the way. Okay. We're going to generate this together. I've tried it earlier before, but I'm taking an input image, and I'm just testing this, and I think like I'm realizing that having an image that kind of matches the position of the video is helping, meaning that you see the character is kind of in the middle, like here, so that it's just one can just kind of like figure out that this character should be where the denser is. Because otherwise it just makes the character in the background, and a new denser that has nothing to do with it just dense in front of it, which is cool too. But if you want to replace the denser by this character, then keep like the same proportions. Again, this is what I experienced so far. The prompt I was typing right now, I'm gonna just go demon wearing a white mask, horns, and a black robe. Just describing the character. I'm not gonna say much more. And I'm just gonna run for now. I do have torch compile enabled, but I don't think it made a difference, like I was saying earlier, for me at least with this setup.
Yeah, I think it's like 20 to 30%, but it might not matter. So there's some stuff with the quantization and the _fast versions of the quantizations. So like there's more exploring to be done beyond what we're showing you guys today. So like that's why I think it's important to spend time on Bandoko or the Comfy server and talk to people that are doing this stuff, because like
Damn.
think of the hours people spend testing this stuff, right? You could just benefit from that directly by checking out their outputs.
Yeah, and Jeru hooked me up, like he texted me saying that the mic was on my PC and not on my headset, and he was right.
Oh, I wondered
Thanks,
why you
Jeru.
sounded weird. Yeah.
Yep, that's why. Thank you, sir. Sound better now?
Mhm. Much better.
Cool.
I was just happy your internet worked, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like every time I get on the stream, I'm running into something new, technology. Right? So, anyways, this is now running, and let's see what it's looking like. Or it seems to be with 65 frames, because I'm capping to 65 frames just to make this not too long. I seem to be around, like, first you mentioned the same thing, around 2 minutes, 17 seconds, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 218, yeah, see right there. I'm around like a 17-ish iteration. Second per iteration, sorry.
Beautiful. Yeah, like it's crazy. And this is the 14B model, by the way, with the 8-step distillation. So the 1.3 model, which I haven't even had a chance to test yet, because that's the preview I used to use, I have a feeling it's even faster. So
yeah, we could try it.
Yeah, I don't have that set up, and I haven't tried it. So
I have the model, so we can. I don't mind trying.
Yeah, I think there's a few things we need to learn before we do that.
There's more
like the block swapping and some stuff.
Oh yeah, you're right. Good point.
Changed. I'm just not sure what the settings are. We can try it, but yeah, better use of time to just show the gens here, I think, and let people do their own experimentation on that.
And that's what I meant, by the way, guys. Before, if the image is out of proportion that you're using as an input, then you're gonna get something like this. So, and also my prompt here before was, I forgot to change it. It was a blue ghost. So that's why you're seeing a blue ghostly figure dancing in front of the image character that I had. Again, it's not exactly what you may be looking for, but it's kind of cool too.
Oh yeah. No, it's super fun. Actually, you know what? I have a bunch of, instead of while this is rendering, let me pull up. I have a bunch of outputs I made
that's good
last couple of days, to show you guys what this actually does, because we don't want to sit here and render it forever. AI, where is it? AI Comfy output. Here they are. All right. What do we got? So our friend Syntax Diffusion, who just joined the team and will be joining us on these streams, probably on Tuesdays more often than the Fridays. But yeah, I have an image of him from when he was on my stream back in the day. So I've been abusing that ever since I got it, and I did that last night, and I made him dance as one does. Just got to try and find the right version here. So yeah, I mean, come on. It's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I guess we should get on the Run Pod referral program. Whatever. I mean, it's more about teaching you guys what tools to use. There's Run Pod. There's a million of them out there. Use whatever makes sense to you. Some of them are very different. Some of them work very differently. Another one with Chris, Syntax Diffusion. Also, by the way, follow Syntax Diffusion on Instagram. Just absolutely fantastic stuff. We'll be streaming until 8, I think, which is in about 11 minutes. Yeah. Give or take. We've got engagement, but we'll be back on Tuesday again. I don't know what we're doing. Do you have is your stream on Tuesday?
I mean, not next Tuesday, because we are in SF.
Right. Yeah, it'll probably be Phil. It'll probably be
yes.
Machine Delusions doing something fun. So stay tuned for that. His streams are sick. Oh, he'll go deep into something, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I got to talk to. I was supposed to have a guest. I got to talk to him. Would be. It's gonna be a great one when that happens with Shane 3D.
Oh yeah, Shane's great. Yeah, I mean, these are all videos I made with Juan last night. This one's pretty great. It's so like it does, it does get the reference image sort of. But would I call it like a perfect reference thing? No, not yet. But if your reference is very strong, and then you use a LoRa and text prompt and footage that matches, and like if all the variables are right, I bet you get some fantastic stuff out of this. I've been getting some really fun just nonsense. Like what else we got? This one's great. It put my input footage in the final video, and then there's just like I'm like dancing inside myself.
You're
Are
getting
there
carrot
distilled
chopped.
models Are there distilled models available for 1.3b as well? I'm not sure. I would check Kajai's repo on Hugging Face for the WAN Comfy for any updated distilled versions. I think it might just be 14b, but there could be 1.3b stuff out there as well. I haven't checked yet. That's the thing. Like I have my finger on the pulse of this stuff, and I'm still not able to keep up with it. Like that's why the warriors over on the discords, like just like they're the ones that keep us all informed. I just try to parrot what they're up to. This one's great. I mean, it looks nothing like the input footage, the input image, but it kind of doesn't matter. It's just so great. Look at that hair bounce. I love this guy like vibing in the corner here too. Oh, you can't see it because of our stupid faces.
I can. Yeah, I think we can see
let's
that.
Move. Wrong window. Yeah, let's move us.
Boom. There.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so good. Oh, I love it. What else? Come on.
I like it. You should show that one with the two creases. This might be my favorite.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did.
The two creases?
I think so. Oh, maybe not. I'll go back to it in a minute.
I have to show this comment because I have to agree with this.
Actually, that panda's tail is not great. Buzz Lightyear, sort of. Team U Buzz Lightyear. Yeah. So no, it's just like super. I don't know. Anytime one of these models gets out, I get so excited because it's just like having a new anime diff, Try to find that output you were talking about. Comfy.
Oh, this was my favorite. It was the two creases. They look like twins.
Yeah, I got it here somewhere. Oh yeah, Chris and his son.
That's my favorite. No questions asked.
What they do to Luffy, exactly. Yeah, friends. Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta dive into all this stuff. If you get rid of this CosVid LoRa, you'll have to skip your steps back up to 20 to 40 to 50 to get the same results. So the distilled models, the WAN stuff, it's all super exciting. And we're going to be making more guided like tutorial content for all this stuff on ways to do things and stuff like that. So this live stream format will not always be the way we disseminate this kind of information, but this is helpful when stuff comes out so we can show you what's sort of possible before.
This was what I generated, by the way, guys. Sorry. Do you want it?
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Since they saw it.
Oh, that looks great. Yeah. Super cool. Right on. Yeah, no, I'm blown away by what's going on, man?
Sorry, I was
Oh,
trying
good.
to.
I got
No,
it.
I was trying to. Yeah, I was doing down on my keyboard just to keep on showing like a gent.
Oh, right. Yeah. Hold on. Our screen's going
Here,
crazy. 1 second here.
here we go. That's it. No, here, take over.
Let's get rid of that real quick. Just wrap it up. All right, friends. Thank you. As always, we appreciate it when you come out and hang out with us. We do this twice a week, plus anything else that comes out. So yeah, come look for that stuff. Follow there's a little QR code in the top corner there. Go to comfy.org. All the links to all the socials are there. Follow us on X, follow us on Discord, or join us on Discord. Follow us on LinkedIn, I guess, and Twitch, YouTube, all the things. We're everywhere. And yeah, if you have ideas, concepts, models, workflows, you have a studio that's doing cool stuff with Comfy and you want us to, show you, spotlight it, please go to the stream suggestions channel on the Comfy Discord and let us know. Always happy to learn about new stuff we don't know about and learn about it and teach it to you. So thank you, everybody. You are here every week and you do all the cool stuff and you make all the cool stuff that we play with, and you always are more on point than we are when it comes to understanding and explaining this stuff. So this can't happen without y'all, and we appreciate you. So thank you, and we will be back. Well, Phil will be back, I guess, on Tuesday, and I will try to pop in. I don't know what I'll be up to, but I'll try and pop in. And yeah, if you're in SF next week, say hi. What's up? Come see us. Thank you, MJ. Yeah, man.
Thank you.
And yeah, I guess we'll go get on a plane. Bye, everybody. Drive safe. Do all the things. Keep her between the snowbanks, as my father always said. And yeah, we'll see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.